Join me as I dive into the 7 richest African countries in 2024 and see if I can break down their wealth in a way that makes sense. When we think about the richest countries in Africa, we often focus on the numbers, the GDP, the resources, and the industries that drive their economies. But as we do that, it's essential to remember that wealth is not always a guarantee of success or prosperity for everyone within those countries. One of the most significant challenges these countries face is economic inequality. The wealth is often concentrated in the hands of a few individuals or families, leaving a large portion of the population struggling to make ends meet. This not only creates social unrest but also hinders the country's growth potential. Another challenge is resource management. Many African countries are rich in natural resources, but the management of those resources is frequently mismanaged, leading to environmental degradation, corruption, and conflict. This can lead to a situation where the wealth generated by these resources doesn't benefit the people but instead enriches a select few. Furthermore, these countries often struggle with infrastructure development, which hinders their ability to efficiently utilize their resources and distribute the wealth generated. This can lead to a situation where the wealth is concentrated in urban areas, leaving rural communities behind. Despite these challenges, these countries have managed to build impressive economies, and in this video, we're going to explore the top 7 richest African countries in 2024. From Nigeria to Egypt, we'll delve into their GDP, major industries, and unique wealth factors that set them apart. Let's start with Nigeria, the largest economy in Africa, driven primarily by its oil industry. With a GDP of over $250 billion, Nigeria is a powerhouse on the continent. Egypt comes in second, with a GDP of over $230 billion, driven by its tourism industry, agriculture, and natural gas reserves. The third richest country is South Africa, with a GDP of over $220 billion, driven by its mining industry, manufacturing, and financial services. Algeria takes the 4th spot, with a GDP of over $170 billion, driven by its oil and gas industry. Morocco follows closely, with a GDP of over $160 billion, driven by its phosphate industry, tourism, and agriculture. Tunisia takes the 6th spot, with a GDP of over $120 billion, driven by its manufacturing industry, phosphate mining, and tourism. And finally, we have Angola, with a GDP of over $110 billion, driven by its oil industry. One country that stands out from the rest is Egypt. With its rich history, strategic location, and impressive human capital, Egypt has been making massive strides in recent years. One surprising fact about Egypt is that it's home to the Suez Canal, which is one of the most important waterways in the world, generating over $5 billion in revenue annually. Not only that, but Egypt is also investing heavily in renewable energy, with plans to become a net exporter of electricity by 2030. The country is also building massive infrastructure projects, including a new capital city, which is expected to be completed in the next few years. In conclusion, these 7 countries are not only the richest in Africa but are also shaping the continent's economic future. From oil and gas to tourism and manufacturing, each country has its unique wealth factors that set it apart. So, which country surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on African economics.